This is Jill Pack with the Seasons of Joy podcast. This is episode number 166, entitled Into the Wilderness. Hello, my friends. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. How is your summer going? Have you been able to soak it all in? Have you had time to slow down and enjoy what truly matters to you? I hope so. I and I had this beautiful opportunity last week to totally disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with what truly matters to me. I went on a backpacking adventure in the beautiful Soldier Lakes area that's near Stanley, Idaho, with my husband and our three grown sons and our grandson. I was able to unplug for 3 days, surrounded by these people that I love and God's beautiful creations. Now, unplugging isn't just about turning off your phone, even though that's certainly part of it. It's about powering down every electronic device and then stepping fully into the present moment. It's about being present and enjoying where you are, who you're with, and the world around you. It's about stepping away from any stressful situation, environment, and creating a stress-free zone. Now, the statistics about our relationship with technology haven't changed that much since the last time I talked about this. Studies still show that about 80% of people who have cell phones claim that they couldn't go a single day without their device. And about 75% of people admit to feeling addicted to their phones. Now, I think that many of us, most of us, would agree that we all experience some level of dependency on our electronic devices. That's just the reality of the time that we live in. But the truth is, technology surrounds us everywhere. And I want to be clear here that I'm not going to come on this podcast today and talk about that technology is wrong or bad and list the reasons why it's terrible. I actually love technology. I think it's amazing. I love being able to text or call the people in my life. I love seeing what my family is up to through photos and messages. I love seeing pictures and videos of my grandchildren because they are adorable and I love them. And especially those pictures of this adventure that I just went on with my grandson. I love learning about new places and ways to grow as a person. I love listening to music, podcasts, audiobooks, and I love staying connected with my friends and family. So again, this episode isn't about listing all the things that are wrong with technology, but rather about the importance of intentionally unplugging from it from time to time. Unplugging to refocus, reconnect, and rejuvenate. And this is what I was able to do while backpacking with my family. If you've never been backpacking in high alpine country, you may want to consider adding it to your bucket list. It is so worth it. My husband, our three grown sons, and my grandson and I loaded up our backpacks with everything that we would need for 3 days. We packed in food, shelter, clothing, water purification, and we carried it on our backs. And we hiked into the beautiful wilderness with alpine lakes, towering peaks, and the smell of pine needles. I love it. I love it when I think about it. It just takes me back. Because backpacking brings with it kind of a unique experience. It's an experience where you are completely self-reliant and you can find this deep satisfaction that comes through carrying everything you need on your back. We set up our own camp. We cooked our meals together over these little portable stoves. We filtered our own water from the mountain lakes and streams, and we navigated the trails ourselves. And each and every day we would wake up surrounded by these breathtaking views. We explored and we took in the beauty. We shared meals together under the sky. We told stories around our campfire. and we fell asleep to the sound of absolute silence. And what made this trip especially meaningful to me was having these three generations together. I was able to watch my grandson experience the wilderness for the first time. And I was able to see my grown sons as the amazing men that they have become. And I was able to share this amazing adventure with my husband. There is something powerful about stripping down life to the essentials and experiencing it together with the people you love, unplugging, living, and connecting. When you're navigating rocky terrain with a heavy pack on your back, you have to focus where your feet are, where you're placing your steps, or else you lose balance. You might step on loose rocks and slip, or miss a trail marker, or exhaust yourself by not pacing properly. But when you are present and you're focusing, it changes everything. And they are so essential to safety and enjoyment of the adventure. There was absolutely no cell coverage the entire time. The only time I could use my phone really was to take a few photos to help me remember this experience we were having, even though I will be the first to say that, probably not the first to say, but pictures never truly capture the feeling of standing on a ridge with your family, surrounded by the endless wilderness. I wasn't worried about emails, news, social media. I actually slept better than I had in months. I lost track of what day it was, and I didn't care. I just took in all the crisp mountain air, the sound of my family's laughter, the incredible sense of accomplishment that comes with each mile that we hiked. This experience reinforced for me something I believe, that it is important to unplug regularly. Unplugging actually creates space for these experiences and opportunities that allow us to slow down and to embrace life and all it has to offer. Stepping away from that constant noise of life to hear and focus on what really matters. Unplugging doesn't just create space for adventure and connection, it does so much more. And so I want to share 3 ways that unplugging will help you create more joy and more meaning in your life. The first one is refocus. When we pause to unplug, we give ourselves that opportunity to reflect on those things that matter to us. And this week, as I've talked about it, I was able to focus completely on my family, like watching my grandson's wonder at seeing his first alpine lake, appreciating my sons for who they are, they're strong, capable men that they've become. And I could enjoy this uninterrupted time with my husband. The wilderness gave me space to think about where I'm going, who I'm becoming, without the distractions that we face in modern life. When we can allow ourselves to unplug, it gives us the space to ask ourselves if we are living the life we want to live. Are we living on purpose, deliberately, and intentionally? So, this adventure or unplugging can allow us to refocus on those things. The second thing it can do is to help us rejuvenate. So, carrying a backpack for miles might sound exhausting and maybe not very fun, but it is actually pretty rejuvenating in a weird way. There's something about this physical challenge combined with that natural beauty that restores the soul. If we don't unplug occasionally, we begin to feel stressed, depleted, with nothing left to give. And you've heard that saying that we cannot pour from an empty cup. And these days in the mountains filled my cup through physical accomplishment, the natural beauty, the family connection, and I returned home energized and ready for what comes next. And finally, This unplugging allows us to reconnect. Backpacking allowed us, my family and I, the time to reconnect with ourselves, with each other, and with something greater and bigger than ourselves. Being present with my family without any distractions reminded me of who they are and how much they actually mean to me. Standing on mountain peaks, you really do feel both that insignificance in the vastness of creation and your unique importance to the grand design. The world is expansive and we are all just this small part of it. Yet, every experience and opportunity that we have for growth matters because it was designed for us because we are loved. As we were packing up camp that final morning, we all agreed we wanted to come back again. It's a place we've gone before, and it brought back all these memories and beautiful experiences to our remembrance. Opportunities like this remind me of the importance of adding meaningful, life giving experiences into my life. What if unplugging became a regular part of your life? Not just once a year, but woven into your days and your weeks in whatever way works for you. What would change for you? What would you discover about yourself, about your relationships, about what actually brings you joy? I know the mountains will be there when you're ready, no matter what they are, whatever those mountains are for you. But I also know that life has a way of filling every moment with noise if we let it. Your present moment, this one right now, is calling you. I know that sometimes the idea of unplugging can feel overwhelming or impossible. And I'm not saying you need to disappear in the wilderness for 3 days, though I highly recommend it if you can. But maybe you could unplug for 3 minutes. What unplugging looks like for me isn't what it needs to look like for you. There really isn't a right or a wrong way to do it. So summer is beginning to wind down, and unplugging really isn't something that only can happen during the summer or this time of year. It's something we can make room for in any season. I want to invite you to consider, what would unplugging look like in your life? It could be as simple as a morning walk without your phone, an evening with devices in a different room, or as adventurous as a backpacking trip with people you love. The point is to consider how you can incorporate unplugging into your life that fits you. So how can you refocus, rejuvenate, and reconnect? The choice really is up to you. And the wilderness, your wilderness, is waiting. Thank you so much for listening and for being part of this community. And if you want to explore what unplugging could look like for you, just schedule a complimentary clarity conversation with me by clicking the link in the show notes or by visiting my website. And until next time, the wilderness is waiting, but more than that, your life is waiting.